Hello! A little while ago, July I think it was, I did a review of this buck converter, this big 50 amp buck converter. It's the Juntek 8650. Well, today I'm going to open it up and we'll have a little look inside. I'll also open up the little remote control unit, which is this, which has its own built-in battery. So first things first, let's remove this plug in order to get the casing off, and then on the bottom there are these 4 screws, so I'll get those out. Removing the 4 screws on the bottom of the box, and if I take the bottom plate off, then we can see the underside of the PCB. Now that doesn't simply drop out because there's a cable attached to this front panel keyboard and display. So what we do is we drop this down, and then I think, yes, the little slide switch there has to be coaxed out. Also there's a fan cable because there's the fan there. Right, the cable that I need to remove is this multi-way cable. Now it's plugged into a socket behind this little wireless unit, and it's quite difficult to get to with the wireless unit in there, so I'm actually going to take that out and we'll have a look at that in a moment. Now I can get to this cable, so I'll ease that out. Then I can pull the fan cable out, and now the board comes out of the box. So inside the box it looks like this little, is that a 5-volt fan? No, it's a 12-volt fan, and there's the little 7-segment display and key driver, and that chip is a 1638, which I seem to remember is just a segment and key driver chip. Here's the little wireless receiver, or transceiver I suppose, 16 megahertz crystal. Now the chip is not identifiable because it's got this sort of blob covering, but it does look very much like an NRF 24L01 plus, so it's either that or something very similar, but unfortunately I can't definitively identify it. And here's the buck converter board, and everything on it is really huge. So we've got 2 very large inductors there, 2 large capacitors which are 2200 microfarads, 100 volts. I can't remember what the input of this thing is. I'll just check. Okay, input voltage range 10 to 75 volts. Maximum output is 0 to 60 volts. And the 8650 is 0 to 50 amps. So looking at this, my guess is that there are essentially 2 parallel buck converter circuits, because we've got 2 inductors. And then if you look here, we've got DT, DT. So my guess is that that is diode transistor, diode transistor. So each buck section has an inductor, a diode and a transistor, and that is essentially the circuit of a buck converter. These 2 capacitors are both on the output, and they're either side of the current measuring shunt here, so that you've got a stabilized voltage across that shunt capacitor, big one, on both sides of it. This is clearly the input capacitor because it's up near the input connector. Now a lot of the components on here, particularly these 8-pin devices, have had their tops ground off, so they're not identifiable. The microcontroller here is an ST microcontroller. I don't suppose it really matters precisely what version it is. There's a MOSFET down here. It's an IRF 640 I think it is, and a polyfuse, and I think this circuitry here is something to do with the shorting of the output capacitors. There is a function in here which allows you to have the output capacitors forcibly discharged. I can't remember what it's called now. Yes, that's right. On here it's called quick response, and you can set it on and off. And if you set it on, then it quickly discharges the caps. And I imagine it does it using this MOSFET here. And in the manual, it's got a different name. It's called fast discharge, but I think it's essentially the same function. In fact, I know it is because I've checked it. Okay, a couple of other things I wanted to point out. The connector here, the four-way connector, is a UART output, and from my sort of looking at the tracings, I've worked out that the four connections on here, which are ground, VCC, receive and transmit, go to these 4 points on this little header board. And if you take this off, now it's set high there, I must remember that. Don't want to put it in the wrong place because for some reason that connector is 5-way. I imagine the extra connection might be if this is used as RS485, so maybe it's a 12-volt input. Yeah, possibly. This just has a transistor and a couple of resistors on it, so I imagine it's mostly passing through from the microcontroller to this UART output, because there's not much well, there's no level translation required for UART. So perhaps the other header, when you get the RS485 version, has level converters on this little header board. But I'll plug that back in. And then the only other thing of interest is this switch. And this is of interest because this switches the unit on and off. Now clearly it doesn't intercept the main input current, because that would be mad. No, what it does, and I've traced this through, is it takes V in positive, which I believe is this trace here. That's the positive side of the cap, isn't it? Yeah, because that's negative. V in positive runs down here on one of these tracks, goes to the switch, then goes through a Schottky diode, and then it's used to power up a buck converter, which I think is this one here. Now it might be an XL Semi or something like that. It's going to have to be a 75-volt buck converter, and I know XL Semi do one of those. So this switch just simply applies V positive that you put in on this connector through a diode to this buck converter, and of course once that powers up, it provides the 12 volts for the fan. This connector here, it provides 5 volts, or it might be 3.3, probably 3.3, to the microcontroller, and so all the circuitry powers up, and then the buck converter starts operating. Now there are two modes you can have. You can have that it enables the output on boot up, or that it doesn't enable the output on boot up and you have to manually enable it. But yeah, that switch powers up this little buck converter circuit. And if you're interested in the big semiconductors on the back of the heatsink, well, the two diodes are MBR40100 PT. The transistors, for some reason, have been etched or milled to cover over their identity. Now I'm going to come back to this little slide switch in a later video, because I want to remote control. I want to remotely switch this buck converter on and off, and I believe that that's perfectly possible. I want to do it with a relay, and I believe all I need to do is take V in, which of course is available externally, and bypass this switch. This switch can be left in the off position, which I believe is there. Bypass this switch. You can see a little trace running from the switch up to the anode of this diode. So just feed V in externally through a relay to the anode of this diode. That will power up the little buck converter circuit, which powers up all the low voltage circuitry, and switch this unit on. So I will come back to that switch at a later time. Okay, let's take a look at the wireless control panel. Now there's going to be another wireless transceiver in here. Of course there's also going to be a battery in here, because you can charge this up via this DC barrel jack, and then when this buck converter is powered up, the two units talk to each other, and you can use this as the interface rather than using the top panel 7-segment and keypad display. 4 screws in the back of this. Let's get them out and have a look inside. Shot of me unscrewing the screws. That one's a bit tight, and taking them out. And inside here we have a LiPo, which is 3.7 volts, 2000 milliamp hours. That's 2 amp hours. It looks like it's got a little protection circuit board on it. That's plugged into the main PCB. We've got another radio transceiver here. No, is that 4? Yes, that's 8-pin, so I can't get that wrong. That plugs into there, so I can take that out. And then this well, I mean, it's what you'd expect, isn't it? It's an LCD ribbon cable somehow attached. Oh, it's just soldered, actually, soldered onto the PCB. There's a microcontroller here, almost certainly an ST. Let's have a quick look. Oh, well, the microcontroller has been etched. So has this chip, actually, but they haven't done it very well. And you can see what it is. It's a CH340, which is a... Oh, it's a UART to USB. Oh, yes, of course. There's a USB Type B connector here. So this is the USB interface for this connector. Don't entirely know what that does. I mean, it could be used, presumably, to upgrade the firmware on the microcontroller. I don't know, because charging is done through this DC barrel jack. You might be able to charge it through here as well. Yeah, you probably can. What's that? That's probably a diode, isn't it? So you can probably charge through here or charge through here. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, all the usual suspects on here. I'm not going to remove this board because that's going to disrupt all these keys. There's a rotary encoder there. Oh yes, that's soldered in. There's the 3 connections there and the 2 mechanical connections. There's a buzzer that's not been fitted because it was probably really annoying. So yeah, there isn't a huge amount on here that's unexpected. It's pretty much exactly what you would expect. The wireless module on this one, again, the chip is obscured, but it does say A210 there, A210. I don't know whether that identifies this as any particular... I mean, it's almost certainly a 2.4 gig transceiver. You can tell that just from the antenna. Let's compare it with a NRF unit. Yeah, I mean, the antenna size and shape is identical. That's the NRF 24L01 plus, same crystal, almost identical layout. If it isn't an NRF, it's something extremely similar. Now, I've taken a week off making videos last week, so I spent some of the time making up cables, and this is one of them. It's XT60 to these square blocks, which were banana plugs, but I've cut off the banana plug bit. And the idea of these is that they fit into these caged terminals, sort of like that. So I just wanted something to fit nicely into there, and that converts it into XT60. Now, as you can imagine, I'm going to be coming back to doing a bit of stuff with this unit, so I wanted to just take it apart, remind myself how it all works inside. And so that's what's inside this Juntek DPM8650. I think it's 8650 RF actually, because of the wireless communication thing. Giant size 50 amp buck converter. I did make another video where I showed this in use and a little bit about the operating system. I'll put a link to it up there so that you can watch that as well. But that's it for this video, so cheerio.